The other day I was chatting with a friend about meal prep ideas and how we both actually execute our meal plans during the week. And surprisingly, we realized one thing was very common in both our meal prep styles. We both like to make one base item for the week that can be used across 2 to 3 different kinds of recipes. So it doesn't feel like we are eating the exact same thing again and again. You'll know exactly what I mean once we get into the video. Right now, I'm going to be making a base mixture with Chana Dal and Soya Chunks. Along with Chana Dal and Soya Chunks, we will need some whole spices as well, like cinnamon stick, cloves, and Badi Elaichi, also known as black cardamom in English. To this, we will also be adding chunks of ginger and a few cloves of garlic, along with whole red chilies and bay leaves. So what we have to do is either soak or boil the soya chunks in hot water. Along with that, we'll use pre-soaked chana dal. I had planned for this the night before, so my dal was already soaked and ready to go. Both of these along with the whole spices will go into the pressure cooker. And that's basically it. This mixture that we've just boiled can now be used in many ways. The same thing that I was talking about earlier. For now, I'm going to store it in 2 parts in the fridge and use it as and when needed, and I will also be sharing it with you. The first part of this mixture I'm going to use for a very comforting and wholesome breakfast recipe, and that is parathas. For that, we'll make a dough, and first we'll turn these ingredients into a puree or a paste. While making this paste, we'll also add some powdered spices. The idea is to blend everything into a smooth paste, and you can add some water as and when needed for that. Into the dough, I'm adding the paste that we just blended, along with freshly chopped onions, freshly chopped coriander, and my favorite, green chilies. Mustard oil is absolutely optional, but I personally like to add a little bit of it because it gives such a nice flavor. And then we are going to be making a nice dough with it. I'm not sure about you, but we really enjoy different varieties of parathas, especially for breakfast. I think it's such a North Indian delicacy. Sometimes it's stuffed and sometimes the dough itself has a different flavor. Rolling this dough into round parathas is fairly easy because the overall dough turns out really soft and moist. You can serve these parathas with some butter and pickle of your choice. It pairs really well with some hot masala chai on the side. Another part of my meal prep is making some kind of a batter and keeping it in the fridge so it can be used for multiple meals. The same thing can easily be used 2 to 3 times. So how did I make this batter? Well, this is a coconut appam batter which I made 2 days ago. Basically, we have to soak some rice overnight. And then the next morning we blend it along with coconut, sugar, touch of salt and pre-cooked rice. Blend it into a smooth puree-like texture. Even if it's not perfectly smooth, that's completely fine. Then you have to rest it in a warm place. I usually use my instant pot for fermenting, or you can put it in the microwave as well, or any corner that stays relatively warmer. Now I'm going to use that soya chana dal mixture we made earlier for another very quick recipe, and this one is always a hit. What we are going to do is grind that whole mixture, but this time we will not add any water because we want a fairly dry mixture. To the same mixture we are going to add freshly chopped onion, freshly chopped coriander leaves and green chilies as well. Now at this point, if you feel the mixture is looking too wet, you can add some roasted gram flour. Make sure it's roasted, and it will also help bind the overall mixture together. Of course, we'll be combining this with a few powdered spices like salt, red chilli powder, coriander powder, garam masala and chaat masala. I like to use an ice cream scoop whenever I'm prepping my meals because one or the other meal idea usually turns into a cutlet like this. So this comes in really handy and it helps me make equal portions. Alongside this, my milk had come to a boil, so I added a tablespoon of vinegar to it to make paneer, or Indian cottage cheese is what we also call it. I'm going to strain the split milk mixture and then let it rest for about 15 minutes to bring the cheese together. Be careful while straining because the liquid is quite hot and you may burn your hands. Rinsing it under cold water helps not just with cooling it down, but also with getting rid of the sourness from the vinegar. I like to cook the soya cutlets that we made earlier in some ghee, but you can use oil, butter or anything of your choice. They are relatively softer in texture compared to the other tikkis that we usually make, so the more besan or gram flour you add, the easier they'll be to handle. That's completely up to you and your taste. While the tikkis were cooking on the pan, I decided to quickly chop some zucchini. Now this is one vegetable that I don't pre-cut or prep in advance. I usually chop it right before making the recipe. I had to mention this. Did you know you can actually freeze curry leaves for long-term use? I like to store them in a zip pouch just like this. They do turn slightly darker in color, but the flavor stays intact and it's a really good hack. This recipe is fairly simple to make and that's why I like to make double the quantity. One portion we use the same day and the other portion we eat the next day. So it saves a little more time there as well. We're going to be adding some mustard seeds to oil. I've used coconut oil this time in this recipe along with some curry leaves. Then in goes the zucchini. It's very easy, just some salt, turmeric powder, and we're also going to be adding sugar that is helpful to balance out the flavors. Then we'll cook this for a while. After about 15 minutes or so, the paneer that we had left in the strainer had also come together. And this can be used in so many different ways. Of course, you can use it for the main recipes, but today I'm going to use it to make a dessert. And like I said before, I like to store the whey water, which is considered to be really healthy. I keep it in the fridge for a few days and keep adding it to doughs or curries that I make from time to time. By then my zucchini was almost cooked and it was time to finish it off. The reason I like this recipe is because I add freshly grated coconut towards the end and it takes the recipe to another level. Another meal prep hack is that I store grated coconut in bulk in the freezer.
I don't know what it means, but there's a smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes.
Now that we're talking about meal prep ideas and meal planning for the whole week, there's one thing we often forget: the little munching moments with our evening teas and coffees. Preparing for that really comes in handy. Right now I'm going to prepare a simple namkeen or a salty mixture, but it's air fried, so there is very minimal use of oil. The best part is that making this mixture doesn't really need your attention. While you're preparing everything else for the week, this can be done quietly in the background.
Here is some pasta.
We are going to be adding puffed rice, flattened rice also called as poha. I'm using the thinnest variety today. Adding some peanuts, chana dal,
Give it.
I'm also adding some nuts, but not a lot, like cashews and almonds. I had some cranberries and raisins left in the fridge, so I added those too. Curry leaves and a few powdered spices like salt, turmeric powder, very little depending on how much color you want to add, chaat masala and red chilli powder. Add a little drizzle of ghee or oil, whatever you prefer, and then mix everything properly.
Problems, they're stuck on my wall like neon paintings, and I'm so tired.
This mixture is very forgiving and you can add whatever you like. You can even consider adding cornflakes to it for that nice crunch and flavor.
We can keep flying.
Now if the tray in your air fryer doesn't have big gaps like mine, you can use that to cover the mixture so it doesn't fly around with the hot air.
Wrong side of the mountain.
Since mine has a lot of gaps, I'm also adding a layer of perforated baking sheet so that the puffed rice doesn't get burnt flying around.
So many chances. When we saw the signs, we just kept dancing, and the nights always seemed so endless. Thought it
Give everything a good mix in between.
was so good at flying, but we can keep flying.
The soya and chana dal cutlets that we made earlier, like I said, we can use them for sandwiches or snacks, but right now I'm going to use them as filling for my parathas. I had 2 extra parathas, and this is exactly how it helps me save a ton of effort during the week. I don't have to cook a separate vegetable to go alongside my rotis. I'm just going to fill this in along with some chopped onion, cucumber, and any kind of sauce really that you like. Then you can wrap it like a burrito and cook it if you want, or even have it without cooking. It's really tasty. You can also turn it into a half moon shape and eat it as it is if that's what you find easier. Remember the batter we made earlier for coconut appams? I'm going to pair that with a very humble egg curry recipe. You heard me right. I'm sure a lot of you already eat it that way, but for me this combination was quite new when I first had it at a smallish eating joint in Bangalore. This combination is something that has stayed in our memories forever, so now that I've learned how to make it, I like to make it from time to time. The recipe is very simple. In oil, after adding mustard seeds, curry leaves and a usual onion, tomatoes and a few basic spices, the overall mixture comes together. We are going to add eggs to it. I have sauteed the eggs a little bit in turmeric and salt, but again that's optional. Adding a touch of coconut milk or even cream if you have it at home. that makes it slightly more velvety. Now that I'm meal prepping, I also thought, why not quickly squeeze in a very easy kind of a high protein dessert recipe using the fruit of the season, and that is mangoes. We are going to blend the paneer that we made earlier along with some milk, but I am taking a shortcut and adding everything together to blend into a smooth puree. So in a jar, take paneer, add extra mango pieces, some sugar or maple syrup or honey, basically a sweetener of your choice, and milk to get the right consistency. You will have to eyeball the milk depending on the consistency. After blending, it turns into a thick mousse-like texture and it tastes even better after chilling in the fridge. So don't have it instantly, make sure to chill it in the fridge for a while.
Reborn in the warm of the spring.
I'm topping mine with some freshly chopped mangoes and I'm going to keep smaller portions of it in the fridge for later. Now bringing the appam batter back out since we already have the egg curry ready. I thought of making the appams immediately and having them for lunch that very day. So I made some appams alongside the egg curry we made earlier, and fresh hot appams taste really nice. I like to add a drizzle of ghee on top of each of them. You can also flip them if you want a crispier texture.
Once more.
So those were some of the meal prep and meal planning ideas that I executed this time. If you relate to these ideas or if you need some different or more ideas, feel free to get in touch in the comments section. I'd be more than happy to discuss those with you. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you're watching till the end, it honestly means a great deal to me. Thanks once again. See you all next time.